Wow, do I have a treat for you guys today. I'm holding an original guitar that's over 180 years old. This beautiful instrument, which was likely made in the 1840s, was made by Salvador Ramirez in Malaga, Spain. You can see it's had quite the life and that it's had many cracks restored. You can see it looks quite old, but still plays thanks to a lot of people doing restorations, including Richard Brune, whose shop I'm at now. I'm here with Marshall and Richard, and they've been kind enough to brief me about this beautiful instrument. In fact, I'm very lucky because today I'm actually recording on this instrument, and those recordings will be part of an exhibit at the National Museum in South Dakota. It is so beautiful to look at, and actually the sound is amazing. Like a lot of 19th century guitars at the time, the instrument is smaller and it has quite a mellow sound. It doesn't have this sort of canon effect that modern guitars often go for, modern classical guitars, that is. They're going for volume. This is really not about volume. I think it's about charm, personally. The sound is warm and mellow and beautiful. On the body, you see this amazing floral design here. Apparently, this was done actually to cover up an accident that the guitar had at some point in its long life. This patch of wood here apparently is not original. It was replaced on the soundboard. This whole thing is a different piece of wood than the rest of the top. And apparently, when this was done, they then put on this beautiful floral design to sort of cover it up. The top itself is likely spruce or fir. The back is made of Brazilian rosewood, which is an exotic rare wood, and then the strip here is this beautiful bird's eye maple, a common wood for backs in the 19th century. Up here at the headstock, things get a little crazy. We have, number one, pegs, which is characteristic of early 19th century guitars. These friction pegs you just push in and turn, just like violins or cellos. Was used on lutes, Baroque guitars. It's actually very common, and they work quite well when made well. At both ends, there's a cap of ivory. The actual design of the headstock here is sort of a scroll effect, which I have never seen before. Of course, I'm using gut strings, which is the strings that would have been on the instrument at the time. In fact, before 1940, almost all guitars would have had gut strings. And gut, of course, is intestine, usually sheep intestine. It's actually a fantastic sound. Super warm, mellow, and you can feel the texture on the strings. If you don't know about gut strings, you can watch my video all about it here. Let's listen to a recording I made of a full piece for this exhibition. This is Tárrega's famous Lágrima. It's such a simple piece, but it's so beautiful and charming, and I think it really works with the mellow tone of this instrument. Now the bridge is actually really interesting. It also has a bit of ivory on it, some inlays here just for beautiful decoration, and then the strings take a weird path. They actually go around the bridge here, going through the back end. Then they pop out the bridge side underneath the strings, which I've never seen before. Richard was telling me that that's common for some Italian guitars he's seen. On the inside of the instrument, it's a sort of fascinating world. There's all these cleats, which are these wooden patches to sort of fix a crack. And so there's really a whole history in here of different restoration attempts by different luthiers. Now the instrument is smaller than we're used to. 19th century guitars in general in the early 19th century were a bit smaller, and that's part of the reason they have the characteristic sound that they do. This one has a surprisingly good bass range for the size. So I'd highly recommend a visit to the National Museum in South Dakota. It's an amazing museum filled with lutes, baroque guitars, and many other amazing instruments. And if you go at the right time, you might find this instrument with my video playing next to it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe. My analytics tell me that 70% of you who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if you want to help the channel grow, please do like and subscribe, and you'll see my weekly updates. And before we go, I want to thank Richard Brune for his great work on this instrument, and also recommended me to record these pieces for the National Museum. And also, if you're interested in classical guitar, I have an online course which is 6 hours long. It's a beginner course. It is meant to take people along their first about 6 months of learning the classical guitar. And I've heard from so many of the students who've taken it so far, they seem to really love it and can't wait for the intermediate course, which hopefully will be out very soon. So please check out the link in the description for Classical Guitar Pro. And until next time, thank you guys for watching.